Hello once again, and welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary friends here to the Gaming Nest News. My name is Joker. We've got some more news stories here for you over the course of the last week. We have had quite a bit going on here in the world of gaming, especially with the Game Awards happening last week. And we actually have our good friends at Project Supervillain here to break down the Game Awards and which games won what, and maybe even who took home that all exclusive Game of the Year award. Boys, take it away.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mark Drifter.
I'm Midnight White.
And we're from Project Supervillain. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Game Awards. This happened last week, and they announced the winners and all the nominees and whatnot, and we're just going to take a look at that show and kind of announce to you the winners really quickly here, because we only have, short time.
So yeah, here's a short recap.
Let's go. So, for the first few awards here, it's the Esports Awards. We personally aren't super into esports, so we don't have a whole heck of a lot to say about them. So we're just going to run through these kind of quickly here. The first one was the best esports team, and the nominees go as follows: Damwon Gaming, Dallas Empire, San Francisco Shock, and Team Secret. And the winners were G2 Esports.
Alright, so the next award was the best esports host, and the nominees are as follows. We have Golden Boy, Machine, Dash, Shiver, and the winner was Shocks. So congratulations to Shocks.
So the next award is actually the best esports game, and the nominees go as follows: Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Fortnite, Valorant, and the winner of the award was League of Legends.
Up next, best esports event. So for that award, the nominees are as follows: Blast Premier Spring 2020 European Finals, Call of Duty League Championship 2020, IEM Katowice 2020, Overwatch League Grand Finals 2020, and the winner for this award was League of Legends World Championship 2020. So again, League of Legends, and Riot knows what they're doing.
The next award is the best esports coach, and the nominees were Krusty, Grabs, Zepha, Rambo, and the winner was Zonic.
After that, best esports athlete. So the nominees were as follows for that one: Crim6, Canyon, Shotties, Zywoo, and the winner was Showmaker. Awesome job.
Cool name. So now we go on to the awards that I kind of care about a little bit more. Not to say I don't care about the esports awards. I don't watch a lot of esports personally, and neither does he. You'll find a lot of that on the rest of the channel, but so the next award was the Content Creator of the Year. This is an award that we definitely should have won. I don't know why we weren't on that list.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyways, the nominees were Elena Pierce, Jayanne Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and the winner was Valkyrae, who I actually feel like she really did deserve it. She had a really good year this year.
Alright, up next is the award for best multiplayer game. So the nominees for that one were Animal Crossing New Horizons, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Valorant, and the winner was Among Us, which definitely a deserving winner for that award. Blew up this year.
Yeah, huge game, still is, and really overshadowed a lot of the other ones on the list heavily. The next award is the Sports/Racing Game Award. This one was a very clear-cut winner in my eyes. So the nominees were Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21,
Holy shit.
and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which was the winner, deservingly. Great game. Excellent game, yeah.
So our next award that we're going to take a look at is the Sim Strategy Game Award, and the nominees for that were Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, XCOM Chimera Squad, and the winner was Microsoft Flight Simulator, which definitely, again, very deserving. It's impressive what they've done with that.
You can fly into your own house in that game.
Yep.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
The Family Game Award. So the nominees were all very deserving, I find, but they go as follows: Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live, Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario, The Origami King, and the winner was Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Alright, up next was the Fighting Game Award. I really didn't play any of these other ones besides Mortal Kombat, so but we'll go through the nominees here. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, Underbirth in Night, and Underbirth in Night EXE Late. CLR. Yeah, and the winner was Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 kind of deserved it. It had a really, like, apparently the DLC was a whole other story. The DLC was really cool. I'm pretty sure they added, like, Spawn and Rambo and whatnot. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
So the next award goes to the best RPG. So the nominees go as follows: Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and the winner was Final Fantasy VII, the remake. I didn't play this game, but I did hear a lot of people say it was really good, so I'm not super surprised to see this, but Persona 5 Royal was my favorite on this list, so I'm kind of sad that that one didn't take the win, but it is what it is.
Okay, next we're going to look at the award for the best action game, and the nominees for that one were Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Nioh 2, Streets of Rage 4, and the winner, deservingly, was Hades. Definitely an awesome action game. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I would have preferred Doom to win, obviously, but Hades deserves it.
Hades is really fun, and Doom is good too, so it was actually it was a big toss-up.
It would have been
between
win
the
and
two,
win for that one.
but yeah, good job, Hades.
So, the Innovation and Accessibility Award goes to the game that makes itself accessible to the most players that it can and the broadest audience possible. So, the nominees for that award are as follows. We've got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, Watch Dogs Legion, and the winner was The Last of Us Part 2.
The next award goes to the best VR/AR game. So the nominees go Dreams, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and the winner was Half-Life Alyx, which definitely deserved it. That game apparently like broke ground with the level of detail it took with things you could pick up and just general objects in the game. Like apparently that one was like by far like the most innovative one. Though Dreams was apparently pretty cool, except that one's more about people making their own stuff.
Right. Well, it's no shock that Valve was breaking ground again. Up next is the award for Best Community Support, and the nominees for that are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant, and the winner was Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. I definitely think that there were other games that deserved this award as well, but it is nice to see that the player base in Fall Guys is getting a lot of support. So keep it up.
Yeah, I thought the game kind of died out when Among Us took over, and I do kind of feel like Fortnite or Apex Legends maybe should have deserved this award, because they do like address their community like pretty well. But I haven't been playing Fall Guys too much, so what do I know? The next award is for the best mobile game. So we don't really play a lot of mobile games here, but here are the nominees: Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe Mix, and the winner, unsurprisingly, was Among Us. That game definitely broke ground this year. We already said that. It was a very big game. It blew up, and it's still very big. So,
our next award is the Debut Indie Game Award, and we had some pretty interesting picks for this one. Let's go through them. We have Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raji, and Ancient Epic, Roki, and the winner for this award was Phasmophobia. I haven't played it yet, but we're supposed to be doing that. Looking forward to it.
It is really fun. I did give it a chance. It's very spooky. The next award is for the best indie game, and here are the nominees: Carrion, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Spelunky 2, Spiritfarer, and the winner was Hades, and it definitely deserved it. I freaking love Hades. Great game.
Good ass. Good ass game.
Good ass.
Good ass. The next award we're going to look at is the award for the best ongoing game. So the nominees for that are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and the winner was No Man's Sky. Okay.
I hear that game actually really improved over the years, so I'm not super surprised to hear that. But again, ongoing games, I kind of think Fortnite should have taken that one, because Fortnite's like huge. They're literally having like
concerts in game
Galactus
and stuff.
showed up, and
as much as I don't play that game, you can't deny the impact
you
of
got
it.
to clap Galactus's cheeks in that game. The next award is for the games for impact. A lot of these games have a lot of like deep impact and like meaning behind them. So here are the nominees: If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, Spiritfarer, Through Darkest of Times, and the winner was Tell Me Why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing about this game I know.
Tell me why. Our next award is the award for Best Performance, and the nominees are as follows for that one. We have Ashley Johnson for Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2, Daisuke Tsuji, Jin, Ghost of Tsushima, Logan Cunningham, Hades, from the game Hades. Naji Jeterm, Miles Morales in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And the winner for that category was Laura Bailey for Abby in The Last of Us Part 2.
So the next award will go to the game with the best audio design. The nominees go as follows: Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, and the winner was The Last of Us Part 2. No. I don't think that one should have won. Doom Eternal.
Or Half-Life Alyx.
Even Ghost of Tsushima had great audio design, like
Yeah.
the wind and stuff. Oh, man. I don't know, I just can't really see it. But I didn't play the game, so I'm not going to say too much more.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like there were better choices. Okay, up next is the award for the best score and music, and the nominees for that one were Doom Eternal, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, The Last of Us Part 2, and the winner was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Understandable to a certain degree, but
they are remixes of songs already.
That
you know what I
already
mean?
exist,
Doom Eternal had a completely new set list of songs, and they were...
Exactly. See, I'm so disappointed that my rage spirit is going into him. I had to transfer it to another human so I don't explode.
I am starting to, like, understand how this man operates.
Yeah.
Also, Hades had really good music. Had really good music as well, so...
It did. Yeah, so disappointing, but whatever.
Oh, the next award is for the best art direction. And the nominees were Final Fantasy VII, the remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, The Last of Us Part 2, and Ghost of Tsushima was the winner. I kind of feel like, this is the one award I felt like Ghost of Tsushima really shouldn't have won.
Right, it should have gone to Hades, I feel like.
Hades, even Ori and the Will of the Wisps, like, those games had, like, crazy art. And that's what this is about, like, what does a game look like, and where does this art go? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
As beautiful as Ghost of Tsushima was, I just feel like when it comes to the art direction, like Hades and Ori the Will of the Wisps just had a much more crazy style because they could do more with hand-drawn
Ghost of
animation.
Tsushima is limited to its
Real
realism.
world, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except in the multiplayer mode, then they get to go.
Then they
wild.
got crazy, and even then, that's...
So maybe
they
for
did,
that.
They do have, like, they did deserve it, but I do think, like, Hades and Ori of the Will of the Wisps deserve some love there. Anyways.
Okay, so the next award is for the best narrative, and the nominees for that are as follows. We've got 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and the winner was, of course, The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
maybe I'll give them the narrative one. I don't really care for those games, but I'm sure they did a fine job writing the story.
I haven't played it, so I can't talk shit about it. I'm not even talking shit about it, but
I just think Ghost of Tsushima should have
Ghost of
won.
Tsushima, I love that game so much. It makes me
Yeah.
mad when it didn't win any, like, it didn't win more awards, honestly. It kind of makes me upset.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
We're a little bit biased
It's
over
okay.
here, but it's okay. It's okay.
Let's move on. The most anticipated game. So these are games that aren't even out yet, and they're already winning awards, apparently. I didn't even realize this was a category, honestly.
Right.
But, yeah, so the nominees were Halo Infinite, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, whatever the sequel is going to be called.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what it is? Cool.
That's what they said, anyways. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Village, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, and the winner was Elden Ring, which, yeah, that game probably going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking
Dude
forward
from
to
Game
it.
of Thrones is helping out with that one, so...
Hell yeah. There you go, George R.R. Martin. Alright, so the next award that we're going to be taking a look at is the one for Best Game Direction, and the nominees for that award were Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and the winner was The Last of Us Part 2. You noticing a trend here?
Me too.
Yeah, you seen it yet?
Yeah, so the last award is the Game of the Year award. So I'll go through the nominees. Animal Crossing New Horizon, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII the Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and the winner, The Last of Us Part 2, which I'm sure you saw coming at this point.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima definitely deserved that award. I don't think Hades deserved it. I know a lot of people really like that game, but it just can't get to that point.
Ghost of Tsushima just hits the right way, you know?
Yeah, like, when you compare Ghost of Tsushima to Hades, like, I love both games, but Ghost of Tsushima's just got this... It's got so much more to it. Like, just when it comes to both the fact that they have more money, the studio. They could make more happen with the graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, damn right, that art style of Hades was really good, but Ghost of Tsushima was
It had a
fucking amazing.
super compelling narrative. Everything was... It was a near perfect game, in my opinion. But, you know, the good news about this is I'm not going to enjoy it any less, even though it's not Game of the Year.
That's true, because we're going to do our own Game Awards show, and maybe it'll get number one there. Who knows?
Cool. We'll see. You'll see when it comes out. But I think that's it for our little Game Awards 2020 recap.
So, enjoy the rest of the show, guys. We'll see you next week. See ya.
Later.
Thanks again, Project Supervillain, for that in-depth look at the Game Awards here in 2020. I know there were some controversial decisions over some of the games that were listed and that even won. A lot of people had their own thoughts about The Last of Us Part 2 and how that game turned out, you know, in terms of the bugs and the storylines, but well done from The Last of Us 2 devs and the entire party for taking home so many awards, including that ever exclusive Game of the Year award, as well as Performance of the Year from Laura Bailey, who is a fantastic voice actress, as well as a D&D player. If you catch her on Critical Role every Thursday nights, you will definitely see why that performance award was very much well deserved. And speaking of the Game Awards, another game that won quite a few awards this year, something that I'm going to talk about here next, it is Among Us. For those who are not in the know, Among Us is a social deduction and deception game first released in 2018 by Innersloth. In the game, a team of up to 10 crewmates work together in silence to finish tasks. However, there are imposters in the crew who are trying to do what they can to stop the crew by any means necessary. Whether it be by killing or sabotaging, these imposters do not want the crew to succeed. Winning multiple awards at the Game Awards last week, including Best Mobile Game of the Year and Best Multiplayer Game of the Year, Among Us has become the indie game darling thanks to the global pandemic and lockdown. It's seen such a massive resurgence in play thanks to gamers not being able to see each other and interact in person. It's seen such a massive boost in popularity that Innersloth, once thinking that it was a complete game, have updated it multiple times since the beginning of the year and have even released a trailer for a new map that will be released at the beginning of the new year, based around the IP known as Henry Stickmin. One of the biggest reasons of its recent popularity boost has been the release of second-party mods and servers. The most popular mod is known as Proximity Voice, thanks to some handy developers who have created the app known as CrewLink. Working alongside the base game, CrewLink allows the players to use a voice chat during the game, but only hear other crewmates within a close proximity of themselves. It's become a massive success thanks to streamers like Corpse Husband, Pokimane, and Dr. Lupo, amongst many others. New to the scene and ready for the holiday season as well is Skeld.net. Skeld.net is a public Among Us server providing a few extras that aren't seen in the standard public servers, like a highly upgraded anti-cheat and custom game modes. These game modes include game modes like Santa versus the Reindeer, where Santa and two elves have to chase down reindeer who are trying to complete their tasks. Innersloth has seen a massive boost to the game they thought was done in 2018, to the point where they considered releasing a sequel in 2021. They have made it known, however, that they will continue to support Among Us into the future, upgrading server capacities, making it easier for the colorblind to partake in the game, and including new maps to play. It's currently available for $5 on Steam and free with ads on mobile devices now. Among Us is one of the most fun games I have played with a group of people in quite some time. It is well deserving of the awards that it's received, and I can continue to see it grow, evolve, and just become a juggernaut within the next couple of years. It'll be a blast to keep an eye on that and to continue to play and see if that cyan looking character is a little sus. Moving on now, we do have our featured player of the week segment. We are still looking for your clips and submissions. So if you want to see yourself here up on the big screen as part of Gaming Nest News. Please send in your clips to info@nesthq.online. Once you do, it could look a little something like this.
I didn't get the line at all.
Oh, okay.
You ran right past me like an idiot. Oh, so stupid.
Guess I better go downstairs. Jesus. This is scary. He still has a fuse charge.
Line! Yeah. Did Line get you too, Chris, or was there someone else in here?
No, it was Ash upstairs.
Oh,
She and I
upstairs.
were chasing
you.
him. Yeah, I was
Listen,
off point.
Fuse
She and I
yeah.
were chasing each other.
Listen for him.
Okay. Alright.
Ash is
Somebody
down?
down?
Let's go tap.
No. There's two in the hallway to the left, and the thermite's right in front of me. Fuse is fusing the wall. I'm dead, yeah. There's nothing I could do. He shut me off with that fuse charge.
Stairs, pink 4.
Damn!
Yeah, nice, Richard.
Who's left?
Fuse.
Jackal.
Oh. Yeah, we got the fuse.
Okay, Jackal.
Yeah, Jackal's on the stairs at pink 4. Or he was.
Gonna get your footsies. If it's Jackal. Play off site and retake if he plants is my advice, but you do you.
And what do you have eyes on?
No.
He's near me.
The only camera is one outside, so... There he
There.
is!
He's on those stairs, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him.
You are being followed.
Yeah, I know. You know where I am.
Seconds. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
Once again, if you want to see your clips here on Gaming Nest News, be sure to submit them to us. We'd love to see you. We want to thank Richard for bringing that clip to us. You may know Richard as our broadcast manager and someone who also brings his own flair and his own questions here and answers to Gaming Nest News. And speaking of, he's got another big segment for us, talking about some of the death march that some of these games and their developers have seen thanks to practices like crunch and what this pandemic and the lockdown has done to us. Richard, that was a great play. Let's see what you've got in store for us now.
I think there's something to be said for the state of gaming in the most recent years. Not just games development, but also games journalism and the culture surrounding gaming as a whole. As we have undoubtedly heard at this point, CD Projekt Red has been lying to fans for almost the entirety of the development for Cyberpunk 2077. The devs have been crunching for the whole of the project, not just the last few months, as the studio has claimed just a few weeks ago. With 80 to 100 hour work weeks at a minimum, and 12 to 16 hour days. With incredible levels of burnout, this style of development is less crunch and more death march, and has led to hundreds of employees coming home to barely grab a bite to eat and a wink of sleep, and come right back into work bright and early to do it all again. This is horrible for the physical and mental health of anyone. Not to mention the strained or damaged interpersonal and familial relationships that also come with this cost. And what is it for, really? For a lot of people, Cyberpunk has come out as a bug-filled mess that is not worth the hype it drummed up over the last 8 years. Xbox One and PS4 owners can barely play the game at all, and PC players have hit or miss experience. I happen to be one of the lucky ones facing very few, negligible at best, problems. Metacritic scores are down, and the studio has decided to rescind the original plan and give out these bonuses anyway, no longer tied to a numbered score due to the state of the game at the moment. And the score is only high in some respects because of the pressure put upon the journalism sites and industry. As we've seen in the past from the likes of multiple game companies, the sites know they'll get blacklisted, shunned from whatever community the game fosters, and even in some capacity get set death threats, even if a part of their free-to-access public review is even slightly against the masses. So the scale of games dev has shifted over the years to this unforgiving scale. Anything below a 7 is unplayable garbage, where 7 itself is barely passable, and an 8 to 10 is at the very least an okay game. It's a mockery of journalistic integrity, but the readers don't help it in the slightest. Not to mention that these people writing for the games are putting in the 40 plus hours of time to play the game, if they get an early code at all. And besides, that time restraint and pressure to produce click-worthy content, let alone anything thoughtful. I myself have completed massive open-world games in only a few days, having gotten the review code 3, maybe 4 days before embargo is lifted, sacrificing my own time and stressing myself out to no end to simply get it all done. And on top of that, you might get lambasted by your following just because you didn't write a glowing review. It's awful on so many levels. And unfortunately, it's an endless cycle. For this, it's unfair that a game with such famously terrible conditions like Naughty Dog has won in so many categories at the Game Awards this last week. It's immoral to put something like that up on a pedestal, to glorify the end result when we could see what it was doing to the people working on it the whole time. The number and level of controversies that have come out about the game during and after development is staggering. Much like Red Dead Redemption 2 having realistically shrinking horse testicles, The Last of Us 2 was packed with unnecessary features that took too long to develop for the sake of immersion, where nobody would notice unless an article was written about it. We throw praise at these companies for producing these killer apps, which gives them the right to abuse and misuse their employees because they have apparently made one of the best games of all time and can now do no wrong. We then churn out our own content to support these companies because we need their games to give us the views to keep us afloat. So we continue to praise these companies even if the working conditions on both sides are ludicrous. And that's nothing to say about how the top execs who just get to rake in the money from all the people that are getting stepped on below them. There needs to be more fair and safe working conditions at studios around the world. CDPR may have had to pay their employees a fair overtime wage, but that's because of Polish law. The US has no real protection like that for their studios. This is just an unfortunate truth about games development and games journalism that we don't want to acknowledge. We want everything to be happy, bright, shining, and perfect. We want all of our games to get perfect scores, and we want all of our games to be good. However, that's not how this goes. And this isn't just for games like Cyberpunk or The Last of Us 2. It simply can't be. From Call of Duty to League of Legends, every game you play these days is built on the broken backs of hundreds of underpaid and underappreciated people. So I urge you to remember this the next time you want to buy a massive, overhyped AAA experience. Think of the development cost, not in money, but in humanity.
Thanks once again, Richard. That was a great look inside the Death March and what crunch really means. It's not a practice that a lot of people really like to do, but developers continue to do it over the course of the development of their games, and we'll have to see if anything will change in the coming years over production of video games. So thanks once again, Richard, for that information. We are going to toss it once again over to Commissioner David, who seems like he's got himself a weekly setup here. We're going to talk about some of the gaming stocks and, once again, things that you can look forward to try to buoy your investment portfolio and things that you may be able to take into the future. Commissioner, thanks for joining us, and let's see what's in store for us in the stock market this week.
Very exciting day today in the markets. Overall, the SPX is up 0.18% today. Didn't really seem to affect much of the stocks. It was kind of more of a neutral day overall, but we do have some big winners of the day. CRSR up 6.57% today. It was a bit of a bumpy ride in the morning, actually decreasing, but afterwards it was a pretty steady climb up that hill, reaching $37.47 a share. Very excited that this is actually the one that I think I recommended last week, that I said I was going to be interested at the $36 mark. I was able to actually get in at about a $35, $34 mark around there. So the increases are definitely showing that there's going to be some momentum with Corsair. Of course, I'm more anticipating the long term, so I believe that this is going to be a long-term hold, looking to see what the actual results are for their fourth quarter will be. But that's yet to be seen, so we're just going to be keeping an eye on that one. Another winner today was ATVI, actually up, not terribly too much, but 1.5%. Kind of had a little bit of a bumpy ride as well today, but nothing that was unforeseen. There is possibly some new room to run, though, still. There's lots of buzz, though, saying that it might possibly be overvalued, so there could be a lot of short selling in the near future here. I mean, this is an all-time high, lifetime high, basically, of 88.22 or $88.22 per share. So I'm going to be a bit cautious on this one. I'm not saying ATVI is not going to move any further, but I would definitely be very cautious just with the short selling that might possibly happen in the near future. We also have Turtle Beach, which, again, on my little cautious list here, it is up 1.37% at $25.08 a share. But it's at that mark. I used to say that every $20, around that $20 mark, it always just kind of declined. And especially with earnings reports, whether they're positive or not, usually took a big slump down. So I'm a little bit cautious about where this one's going to be going. They do have some good high quality products that are coming out, but I'm, again, cautiously optimistic about what they have to basically go with. Logitech today as well, up 1.16% at $91.45. It's actually the highest it's been in, I think it's been highest it's been ever since for quite some time. And I don't know if it's actually going to run even further. We're going to see what their Q4 will be as well. Logitech has always been kind of a solid front runner with their sound systems and, of course, their headsets with the work-at-home pandemic. Again, I'm going to be watching this one fairly cautiously. I'm a little bit more optimistic about this one in a long-term run for a hold, but I'm not sure if I would buy it at this exact price point. As well, Intel going up 0.9% at $51.12. Intel basically ending at a decent point. It recently did actually get downgraded rating from the Bank of America to a sell, and it is still struggling to hold above that $50 mark. I believe if it hits that 50 and goes under, that we're going to see a very, very steep decrease in the price. So I'm more cautious about this one. We're going to see what happens with it as well. You know, of course, they're competing with AMD, and that trouble with China, I don't think is going to go away on its own. Just moving on to some of the losers of today, and by, well, actually not quite a loser here, but basically Electronics Arts, huge news out of recently, basically, which is that it is up 0.67%. Not very much today, but the big news is that there were some insane bidding wars for the game maker Codemasters at $1.2 billion. EA is going to dole that out and basically take over the company. Take-Two Interactive was also very interested in a deal with them, but obviously was outbid by EA. But I want to carefully watch the actions of EA since their previous handling of games haven't done so well. If you look at Battlefield 5, which was very hotly anticipated, of course, it never really seemed to catch on the audience that it wanted. And a few of their other releases haven't exactly garnered too much interest. So Codemasters is actually well known for its F1 series and also the game Dirt. It's a rally racing kind of game. We're going to see how EA actually handles that once they start releasing some games under their umbrella. Of course, EA does have some experience with racing games. Of course, we can't forget the Need for Speed series. A little bit more forgotten, but with Codemasters, we might be able to see something very interesting in the near future, but not something that I'm particularly too keen on looking at right now. I'll wait until they kind of settle in, if anything. Again, not too much of an increase or decrease today. That looks a lot more violent than it actually is, up to $143.39, almost around its high point, and then ending at 141.6. We'll see what it does tomorrow after the news kind of settles in with everybody. Take-Two Interactive also up, but only by 0.22%. Obviously, the news of them losing out to EA on the bid didn't seem to really affect them too much. It has slumped down a little bit today. It was reaching a 2% earlier today, but slumped down just to get its kind of like paltry gains today. But it is trading extremely high. I believe that this is almost the highest it's been for a while. If you're looking at its all-time, I'm going to be very cautious with this one. I know Take-Two is going to have a very interesting quarter, especially with Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. We're going to see exactly what happens in that quarter. Just moving on to AMD, was a bit of a loser today, but not by very much, only by 0.28%, ending at $96.85. Not too much news in regards to what was happening today, so pretty boring overall. But it is attempting to climb to that $100 mark. It did have a little bit of an increase up to 97, reaching in the morning actually close to 98. But I do believe that this is going to be a long-term hold. I'm personally holding on to this one. I got in at the $93 mark, and I want to see basically where this runs. So I think there's quite a bit more room to run. Of course, with the hotly anticipated fourth quarter results, we're going to be able to probably see this break 100. And, I wouldn't be surprised if I see 120 out of this one. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying there's a possibility. So I think AMD's got a lot more to go. NVIDIA as well, actually down probably the most out of my whole list here, but not by very much as well, only by 0.88%, ending at $529.70 here. It is also anticipating a hot quarter for the Q4 reports for a big win, but it's going to need to keep up with AMD, and I'm personally concerned with its current value. It really needs to hold above that $500 mark. It has been holding it quite well for the week, but again, if it does not do very well on that quarter report, I don't see this being something that I really want to stick with. I feel like there's a little bit more risk with NVIDIA than there will be with AMD. As long as their fourth quarter report comes out positive, then they probably still have room to run. Of course, they still have good technology, and with the ray tracing for their new graphics cards and everything, there's still going to be hot deals with that in regards to seeing this possibly increase, but it's got to keep its market share if it's going to be worth anything in the long term, basically. So other than that, not too much action today, just a little bit with the EA deal. Just keep an eye out for that one. Other than that, I am going to send this right back to Richard, and we will see you next week to see what other interesting opportunities will present in the market.
Once again, a big thank you to all of our contributors for bringing in the information here to Gaming Nest News. Thanks again to Project Supervillain for bringing us the info on the Game Awards. And thanks once again to Richard for that Player of the Week. And we're continuing to look for contributors who want to be featured here on Gaming Nest News. If you have an idea, something you want to bring to the table, and something you want to showcase to the rest of the world, let us know. Send us an email. Use info@nesthq.online and send us your takes, your information, what you want to see on the show, and we'll make sure to work with you to try to get you here on Gaming Nest News. Keep an eye out on all the social media for upcoming tournaments and events that we will have scheduled and coordinated going into 2021. You can check us out on Twitter and Facebook for all of that information. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, follow button as well. we will be here weekly bringing you even more news from the gaming world and from Nest itself. Thanks again to Richard for producing this and for putting everything together. My name is Joker. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to everyone starting out this holiday season. We'll make sure to see you next week with more news and information here on Gaming Nest News.